We right here, y'all.
Something you never had, you need to do something you've never done.
Yes, yes.
We gonna sing right here.
Miss Renee Show.
Yeah, Miss Renee.
Renee Show.
Oh yeah, we gonna do it here.
Miss Renee Show.
Right here in Listen Vision, y'all.
Miss Renee Show.
Oh yeah, Miss Renee.
Miss Renee Show.
I like how you sing it.
Thank you, Mustafa.
Girl, I like how you sing it now.
Thank you, Mustafa.
And where we at now?
Miss Renee Show.
Hello, hello. Ding, 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 ding. We can't find my bell, y'all. So if you're loving my bell, I'm going to ding, 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 ding for you, okay? Welcome to the Renee Allen and Friends Show right here in the nation's capital. Thank you for hanging in there. We had a few little technicalities, but we are so excited on this beautiful evening. Across from Howard University, HU, you know. So listen, thank you, Jacob. Save the day. Thank you so much, Jacob. That's my partner right now. That's my partner. Woo-hoo. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you to Novetica, your pet's choice. We are launching in 30 days, y'all. The launch of this wonderful organization, mastermind by Dr. Lance London of the Carolina Kitchen, where you get your chicken and much, much more, is Novetica. And it will be an free app, which you can download to acquire any of the pet items that you need for your furry loved ones. It's going to be nationwide launch, and we are so excited on July 21st. So thank you for being the sponsor. Dr. Renee Bovell, a wonderful woman, ophthalmologist. Just imagine not being able to see, and then you will see how important it is to have your eye care. You go into these different, Walmarts and things like that, and they have these little fast drive-in, drive-out. But your eyes are very important, not only the to your soul, but you also need to see where you're going. So, cataracts and all kinds of things happen with age. You want to make sure you take care of your eyes, your eye care. And Dr. Bovell is located across from Fairwood in Bowie in the business park, and she is phenomenal. So I just wanted to give her a shout out, Dr. Renee Bovell. Do you have the flyer that shows her? Yeah, right there. The owner of Envision Eye and Laser Center, Dr. Renee Bovell. Before I say another word, I watch social media and, the stuff, the shenanigans going on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. We all know it is a joke. But what I wanted to say is of all the images I have seen, this one sums it up for me. Bam, boom, pow, because there's just something very trifling happening down at that White House, and I believe he is nothing but the devil. To go from Barack Obama, who was educated, loved his family, suave, common sense, committed to the universe, and then to have this blazing idiot running our country, I am just like in prayer, constant prayer. So let's just keep it praying, okay, y'all? I just thought I'd share that with you. So much stuff going around. Also, what else? Thank you, Leah. She's not here today, but that's my girl. She just graduated college. She lost her mother, which became my BFF with Novetica. She is a wonderful young lady, and I'm going to be there for her. But she comes, she used to be here more often, but Layla, you are always welcome. I love you to life. Also, happy Father's Day, belated Father's Day to all the fathers. My girlfriend to all of us, Teresa Royale Brown, she lost her father, and she had to celebrate a homegoing the day before Father's Day, and that had to be rough. I lost my father a year and a half ago. It'll be 2 years Thanksgiving weekend, and but the day before Father's Day, I'm praying for all my dear friends, because there's a lot going on, these days. So just happy Father's Day, especially for those who've lost their father. I just pray for you. And those of you who still have your father and mother, love them. I have this flyer that says, love your parents. I think I sent it to Jacob. And yes, love your parents. We are so busy growing up, we often forget they are also growing old. I just saw my mom, bam, boom, pa-da. I went to, if you know me, I never, hardly ever miss my Nevetica meeting. But my mom was in Delaware, my aunt, and she just got back from the Bahamas. They just, the divas, the matriarchs, the travelers, they just, the wisdom makers. And I drove out there to see her, and I had such a wonderful time. And I called them the OGs. If you watch my Facebook, Jacob, I put it in black and white. It was such an awesome picture. And there they go. That's my heart right there. And I just thank her and God for every step that I have taken on this journey called life. So many other people, but my mom and God, thank you. Thank you. All right, so what else do we have here? Gosh, we have, I will see everybody on Thursday, tomorrow, they call it the Dog House. It's the Nevetica headquarters. It is so beautiful. Do you have the logo, Jacob? If you've ever been to a Carolina kitchen, and you see the decor of the upscale Southern cuisine of Dr. Lance London, who I've known for 30 years, in August, he has finished the decor. There he is right there. Woo! And the headquarters looks, it's just awesome. It's an emblem of the dog and the cat. Yeah. And it's just phenomenal. I mean, he just has the eye, the business sense. Isn't that gorgeous? Nevetica, your pet's choice. There's a dog and a cat. Look at that profile, that silhouette. He's just a genius. I love it. So I will see y'all on Thursday, tomorrow, for that wonderful training. And I'm so excited about the launch in Nevetica. It's going to be at the BWI Hilton. And let me tell you something. One other thing I want to say. Tracy Lynn is the first African-American MLM multi-million heir. And Dr. London is the first African-American male who will do the same in the pet business. I am so honored and privileged because timing is everything. And we're all busy. We're all chasing the dollar. We're all raising kids. We're all dealing with relationships and everything else. But the bottom line is, what are you doing to build your legacy? What do you have in front of you that God has blessed you with, and with timing and good product and integrity of people, and I can go on, and that is a blessing, and that's what I have run into with my dear friend, Dr. Lance Lynn. So if you're interested in building a real business with integrity-driven people with a product that is recession-proof and is getting ready to launch July 21st, just inbox me, because after the 22nd, I will not be recruiting or welcoming. I will be building my business, and then I'll open it up maybe in about 6 months or so, because I'm going to be really, really busy. So I welcome you now until the 22nd, okay? Okay. All right, so let's talk about some of the flyers, Jacob. Some of the things that are going on. My dear friend, Karen Marie Austin, who was one of the co-hosts to the show 3.5 years ago, CEO, founder of the Spectrum Circle, she introduced me to Sean Yancey, and Sean Yancey is having a girls' night out. I won't be here, but I want y'all to be there, because oh my God, it's going to be amazing. Every year I have missed this phenomenal event. All my friends are there, but I'm going to Santa Fe, Pebble Beach for one of my besties' wedding, and I happen to be in the wedding. So I'm leaving Friday. I'll be back Monday. But, I just hate to miss this. Just phenomenal people. So get your tickets. Go to Girls Night Out. It's for girls and guys. As you can see, all of the media folks show up. A lot of great people are there, and it's a fun night. And that is this Saturday. Also, Vivian Avakova, my dear friend, national designer extraordinaire, will be there. Who else? I have? Dr. Renee Bovell, of course. My mentor and the forward to my book, Star Power, which is steadily coming along, y'all. Marcia Dyson, Eric Dyson's wife, a phenomenal woman and human being. Also, we have the Afro-American newspaper. They are having a high tea. And I'm so sorry, Edgar, the GM of the satellite office in Washington, D.C., a dear friend of mine. I will see you at the reunion next weekend, but I will miss this. So please get your I know those are very short tickets, very few left for that, so just go ahead and get your tickets. Also, we have, Sheila Stewart. I believe it's the 5th year anniversary. Listen, Sheila worked for Kathy Hughes. I met her through Edgar Brookins of the Afro. Sheila had a very untimely death in Atlanta, Georgia, working for Radio One. We were dear friends. My son used to babysit her only son, Jonathan, and we just had a wonderful time. Well, Sean Poppy of Hey Poppy Productions always remembers Sheila. I mean, not a day that goes by I don't think about Sheila and some of my loved ones. But I'm gonna tell you. Thank you, Sean Poppy of Hey Poppy Productions. Go to Facebook, look that up. He's a wonderful PR person, a dear heart, Christian, man of God, married, child, loving life, and he loves to promote, edify, and inspire people and businesses. So we miss you, Sheila. Mwah! Love her. Also, Pretty Girls. Nakia, my girl, yes, with Dr. Dawn Harvey. Dawn Harvey, she's always there because she shuts it down. She's the finale. I was there maybe 2 years ago, and I hope to make it this year. Yes, end of July. I'm pretty sure I can. But this is an amazing, beautiful woman. Pretty is an acronym for I forgot what, but you could look up Nakia Marie on Facebook. She has the voice of an angel. She has wonderful empowerment. As you can see, I believe conferences for women, and it's all about waiting. So many, and it's all cultures. Don't even get it twisted. It's not the black women. It's all women out here, especially college, etc. Out here, doing YOLO and all this craziness. But you need to save yourself because you want to be able to save yourself for that one person. Don't be out here just willy-nilly all over the place. You want to respect yourself, respect your temple, and so you can find the man who will respect you, and then you can have a long life and fulfilling life, the way that God intends you to have it. So good for you. Best wishes, Nakia. All right, well, I think that's about it. I wanted to did I send you some pictures of the manifest with my dear friend, oh my God, it was Carol Star Taylor. I didn't forget you, Lena. I'm bringing you on next, sweetheart. Good. They have books, and there's one lady standing up. It was I Manifest Bliss. Oh my goodness! If I forgot to send it to Jacob, please. Woo! Yes. Now you see in the red shirt, that's Mayma Carmo. She is phenomenal. Breast cancer survivor. She's just a manifesto. She's about women. She beautiful inside and out. Dawn standing up in the back. She is her partner. She has a great business where you can dress these dolls up and I guess God, don't let me mess it up. It's like virtual. And then Christine is standing next to her, one of the authors, and my girl Lena, who's on the phone right now, next to me. I'm in the green, of course. I think that's Molly, it looks like, and then Carol Star Taylor at the far end in the blonde, and she's the publisher of Create. Oh my goodness, I believe it's Creative Publishing, but Carol Star with 2 R's Taylor. We had a blast. The book launch was at Tyson's. We had a party. We went to I Manifest the next day on Friday. It was just a ball. So just look on Facebook, find it, I Manifest Bliss, and also the Rebel Rising, which I meant to bring a copy of the book. It's just became the #1 international bestseller. Woo! I am so excited because I wasn't even supposed to be in that book. I met her, we gelled, and it was like bam, boom, pa-dow. And so I just shared my divorce story in there for people who are just suffering from a divorce. Not everybody wants a divorce. It's usually just one party. The other one's trying to hang on. That was me. And, it is what it is. You just have to move on, and you have to have certain things in place to move on healthy, so you can get to the other side of the mountain to enjoy your life and move on, especially if you have kids. And women, don't use the kids for leverage with the men, okay? I wrote an article on Afro. A lot of women didn't like me. So what? Don't use your children as pawns. The children are half yours, and they're half the men, and men are walking around suffering because you, whoever I'm talking to, are being selfish and are, really just bottom line, messing your own children up. Because you have a father, they have a father. Just because you don't last with your husband, you have to make sure your son or daughter is healthy and have a relationship with their man, because they need the men and the women. I hope you're hearing me out there, because I hear a lot of hogwash about this stuff. And women, you ought to be ashamed. Stop doing that, okay? So let's move on. All right. Well, I have someone on the line who I absolutely adore. Now, I meet people from time to time that really hit me, pat out, and I'm like in love. And I meet hundreds of people probably a month just with the different arenas I'm in. But this past weekend, I met one of those special women, Lena. You there, Lena?
I'm here, honey.
Woo! What's up, girl? If you was a man, I'd marry you.
I'll still marry you.
Girl, we had so much fun. So listen, tell them who you are, and then I'm gonna start with the questions.
Well, who I am.
Yes.
In a nutshell, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a very proud mama. I'm an author in Rebel Rising, and I'm the founder of Survivors Advocating for Equity, which is an organization that's going to call for more rights for survivors of violence.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, we met through the book publishing of Rebel Rising, which are 14 amazing women discussing some part of their life where they rose, Rebel Rising, like a phoenix out of the ashes. And so all of us had some great things to share with women who are wanting to heal and don't know, and they feel alone, and you don't have to feel alone. So tell us what this did for you, this book. This was your first book, right?
It is my first book.
So tell us your experience about it and why women should be a part of such projects.
Well, the subject of the story aside, I just find that when you go through something so traumatic and you overcome and you heal, and then you find a new passion or purpose from it, I find that putting your story down not only inspires others, and shows them that they're not alone, but there's an extra sense of healing. And for me, it was a huge sigh of relief to just, I got it out there. Yeah. So that was very special for me.
Yeah. When we actually were invited to I Manifest Bliss with Mayma and Dawn, so I was able to talk about mine, but I want to concentrate on you. Talk about a little bit about your story, and then I'm going to talk about your march.
Okay, well, my story is really about me. I've gone through a lot of adversity over my years from childhood to present, but the biggest challenge I had faced was when I found myself in a domestic violence situation that almost took my life.
My God.
And when it happened, I was strong enough from everything I've overcome to turn this person in, naively thinking that the justice system was going to take care of it properly. It ended up being an even more traumatic situation for me than the assault itself. So, I mean, I have to tell you, when we go ahead and have the courage to stand up for ourselves and say, this is what happens, do something, I need my justice, we're actually told to keep quiet because it's going to look bad against us. Mm-hmm. And I just feel that victims deserve to be heard. We deserve to have legal rights, same equal rights, because the current justice system coddles the offenders and silences the victims, and we suffer. We're the ones suffering. So I raised my voice. I saw that this was a global issue. A lot of people came forward to me and said, I was mistreated here, I was mistreated here. And so not only are we going to speak up and take back our power, we're going to push for more legislation and programs to better serve survivors of violence, and that is my mission.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We hit it off. I was telling my girlfriend, my BFF of 30-something years, Carrie, who I'm going to be in her wedding, about you a little bit. And, I was telling her, God just put certain people in your life. And when I look at you, you're so gorgeous and so, a lot of women that I meet, whether, anybody can be gorgeous. I mean, every month, Oprah's gorgeous faces on the magazine. Anybody, it's just makeup and hair. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but you're so natural and you're just so nice. And I don't see that a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I also don't see that in the political arena. I'm just being real. People can just take it as it is. But what I like to ask you is that, people aren't going to know that you're running for office. Talk about that and why. I mean, obviously you've been through a lot, but people usually don't go that route, to take the extra mile and run for politics. I'm very impressed about that.
Well, when you do something with passion, it's really effortless, and you want to work as hard as you can to make your vision a reality. And whether this takes me a couple years, a lifetime, I don't care. As long as I impact some lives, I am happy when I leave this world knowing I did my best. So that's what's important to me.
Wow. Okay, well, let's talk about, you went from your first book and now you're doing an actual forward on a book. I mean, and not to mention my dear friend, now our mutual friend of Umbrella Syndicate, Ken Roshan, so let's start with the forward and talk about that book.
Well, the forward is actually an honor for me. Taking my situation aside, when I opened up and started speaking out, and then that prompted so many people to come and write to me and tell me their stories. Let me tell you, as traumatic as my situation was, it's nothing compared to what goes on in other people's lives. I mean, people have been suffering for years, and you won't believe the horror stories. And so for me to be able to write the forward, I just only hope that I can do the book justice in serving these amazing survivors of violence who have endured far more traumatic situations than I have. So I'm just going to do my best, but it's truly an honor.
You're so humble. What advice would you give? Because I hear, and we've had people of domestic violence on the show before, and what we hear is a lot of myths. If he's beating you or she's beating you, because some men are being abused, and you just are embarrassed, or people will say, well, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just leave? I mean, what's your take on all that?
It's not easy for people to leave, I understand. But that doesn't mean that one should stay in a violent situation. It's dangerous, and there's no quality of life there. And I can't speak for them because I was never really in that situation where I lived with the person. However, I do believe there's a solution for everything. And I've told people, make a plan, make a solid plan where you can execute it safely.
Yes.
Because getting out safe is the most important thing. But I do believe there's a solution for everything. And tell someone you really trust. Because when you tell just one person you really trust, and they better be supportive.
Yes, ma'am.
it really helps you, propel you forward, to take steps towards getting out of there and living the life you deserve.
Yes. Well, let's end with that March, girl, because we have a little buzz going on with this March, girl. So tell them about what you're planning to do on the mall.
Oh, the march. That's something that a crazy idea I came up with, but you know what? I come up with ideas and I don't know how to do it, and I say, well, I'll just figure it out along the way. So I want to do this march, and it's symbolic. I'm doing it in front of the White House. I'm doing it on September 8th.
Yes, ma'am.
At 10 a.m. And I just hope we can get as many supporters and survivors together as possible so we can create a tribe, friendship, and lasting memories, and demand, you know what, we're not going to stay silent anymore. We want changes in our government, and we want more support. And we're going to do that every year.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about it.
I'm excited too, and we've already started a buzz, and we have people who want to help you. I have a lot of friends and acquaintances, starting with Dr. Jennifer Jones, who said that she would lend her hand, and that's a big deal because she's the chair of, she has so many titles and so much she's doing, so I was so excited when she said she would help you, and I'm going to help you. So how do people get a hold of you, Lena?
You can go to our Facebook page. The name of the page is Survivors Advocating for Equity. Mm-hmm. And if you want to reach out to me, my email is lena@safecrusade.org.
Say that one more time.
Lena, Lina, @safecrusade.org.
Thank you so
Safe
much.
Chance for Survivors Advocating for Equity.
I love it. I love it, and I love you. And we will see you in September.
I love you.
Thank you so much.
I really love you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for coming on this show, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yes, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, she's amazing. She's amazing. And I had some more pictures, but I'll show them next week. That was Lena Forbes Lee, and she is thebomb.com. And she gave you the information. So you'll also be able to find it on my Facebook page. And so let's take a break. I want to show you the launch. Do you have the Navitica launch? Jacob is the man. So I'm going to show you the launch that's getting ready to happen on July 21st. And I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Renee Allen and Friends show right here on WLVS. We had a few minutes, so I wanted to look, they have this thing called Work It Wednesday, woo, here at WLVS. And I met Kingston and another young lady when I came in, and so welcoming, so wonderful, wonderful products.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So how did you learn about WLVS Work It Wednesday?
Work It Wednesday, I came across that on Eventbrite. About a month ago, I did an interview here for the Artist Mondays.
Awesome.
And so, I've been back and forth with them.
Okay. Well, it's called Yarbante.
Yarbante Legend. Yarbante Legend is the name of the brand. Be live, be real, be a legend is the slogan. And like I tell everybody I come into contact with, it's my personal goal that at some point, everybody will own at least one item of this brand, and that's what I'm working towards.
Everybody needs a little Yarvante
Everybody's
in
legendary.
their life.
Mm-hmm.
I always say that about Everett Hall, Wisconsin. I know my dear friend and friend to the show. Do you know him?
No.
You have to connect, yeah. So how did you come up with that name?
Well, I'm Jamaican. So
am I.
So
Everything I remind. My dad's Jamaican.
Right, that's it. So I took the Yardie. I took the yard from the Yardie part. Just added Vontae to it just to give it like a little sound, and then everybody can be legendary in their own way. So I just put it together, you know.
My sister Lisa love you. She likes that word Yardy. What are these pictures here?
Oh, this is a fighter that I sponsor. His name is Jeremy Cuevas. He's a Philly fighter. I think he just had his last fight, so now he's 10-0 with 8 knockouts. Nice. And I also just wanted to show that we have the signature underwear for men and women.
Bam, boom,
for men and women. So we got quite a few things going on. I got a shop that's out of state, but I'm trying to do a lot more events here in DC just to get the brand grown and more recognizable to the public.
Okay, well, how can they get a hold of you?
Oh, you can go on the website, www.yavante.com. That's spelled YARVENTE.com. Yep.
I love it. I just look, he's such a great guy. I love spirits, and I love how he welcomed me in the studio. So I just want to give you a few minutes.
Yeah,
and
appreciate
so, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll be right back, y'all, with Senator Muse, our next county executive for Prince George's County. I've been a resident of Prince George's County for a little over 20 years, and Senator Muse and I met amongst mutual friends, and I met he and his lovely wife, Pat Lawson Muse, and I just fell in love from moment one. He to me is our community savior. Senator Muse is for all people, and that's what I love about him the most, but more importantly, as a veteran, I really appreciate and respect him. He's one of the few politicians that really supports veterans. When he puts his mind to something, he gets the job done. He's a talker and he's a walker, unlike a lot of politicians these days. We need Senator Muse as county executive because he is supportive in the issues that are important to veterans like myself. One being housing, another being the transitioning from the military to the civilian world. Another issue is our health care. There's a lot of problems with the VA, and you see things around the news. We need someone who's going to be strong enough to salute us and fight for us and make no apologies, because for some reason the brave and the courageous are being forgotten. Well, some of the things I'd like to see change. First of all, I miss my 2 pickups for my trash. I know I'm not alone, right? Bam, boom, put out. But that would be the first start. We don't want trash hanging around our residents and, create those type of problems in our neighborhoods. So that's the first thing, that bring back that second trash day, Senator Muse. I'd like to see more for the small business. And I know he was responsible for bringing $1 billion to Prince George's County for the economic revitalization. One thing I don't do is throw shade, but I will say that we have not done enough for our county. MGM and so many things, I could write a list that the monies have not come to the communities and our schools. C. Anthony Muse was the first person, not just politician, but person to ask for the resignation for Maxwell, long before people took it seriously. And it was detrimental to our kids and the school that he stayed in that seat as long as he did. We need someone who's going to really look out for Prince George's County. The real deal is Senator Muse is not bought and paid for. Senator Muse is not going to allow himself to be bullied. He's not going to allow himself to be paid off to do anything that's detrimental to this beautiful county. Senator Muse is about business, about real results, about really helping people and uplifting this community. And if you want a county executive that's going to do that and protect this county for the beautiful people who are residing here and want to stay here, then you need to choose Senator Muse. I just want you to come out and vote. And when you vote, do your due diligence. Look at each candidate and see who's supposed to be sitting in that seat. I will be there to vote for C. Anthony Muse. Woo! And I hope you do too. Welcome back to the Renee Allen and Friends Show. I am so honored and privileged to have the next county executive for Prince George's County on the line. Senator Muse, are you there?
Renee, it is good to be here. Yes, I am, and I thank you for your words that remind me of what my dad used to always say, speak those things that are not yet as though they were. I receive that, and it's a pleasure to be with you today.
Thank you, sir. And I receive you as well as so many loyal supporters in Prince George's County. We are waiting to roll that red carpet out. Thank you so much again. The polls are hot. All the women from Muse are out there. Dr. Jennifer Jones and all of the amazing women. And of course, I heard you were out there yesterday on Bach. Where were you yesterday?
Every day at one of these polls, even in the heat, the rain, we've been out there every single day. This is our 7th day of early voting, being out there, meeting with people. They are wonderful. The momentum is in our favor, and the women from Muse are really working great, and the clergy from Muse, they are out there. The pastors are at the polls themselves, and on from all of the persons and groups that have endorsed me. This is our season, and I'm thankful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I know the early voting ends tomorrow. And then, of course, we have June 26th open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And we are looking for volunteers to the WLVS listeners out there. But I want to look. See Anthony Muse, Senator Muse. I want to ask you a few questions, even though I know the answers. For people who are on the fence and not sure who to vote for, I want them to know who to vote for. Is that okay, sir?
That is great. That is what my job is, to go and to convince people that for this time I am the person. Yes,
yes, you are. Yes, you are. So what makes you qualified to be the next county executive?
I always tell people there are three to four things that I like to look at. One is my life experience. The other is my legislative experience. And all of those have culminated into my vision for this county. And then a history that I have of working for my constituency, and not the powers to be, not the developers, not the political party, but working for people. By life's experiences, I mean this. In 30 seconds or less, I never knew my dad, my biological dad. I had a stepfather and I grew up for the first 10 years of my life in a domestic violence-filled household. We were beaten, and you name it, it happened. I watched my mom being beaten and run out of the house. When I was 10 years old, she decided she had to leave. She left, and consequently, I ended up not going with her. And as a result, I ended up in 11 foster homes, sleeping in the streets at times, eating whatever I find from the stores. And and I was finally adopted by a Methodist pastor who showed me another side of life. After being kicked out of 3 school systems, education is important to me because he put me back in school. He worked with me until I was able to get a bachelor's from Morgan, a master's, and a doctorate from Howard University. I know that what is a failure can work. That experience of my life is what has driven me into service, not politics, but into a life of service. That's my life's experience. To whom much is given, much is required.
Yes, sir.
My legislative experience, right?
Yes.
My legislative experience, I'm the only candidate in this race who have had to take 15,000 hard votes in my 12 or 16 years in office, dealing with all of the state of Maryland, all 24 jurisdictions. Every time I take a vote, I know I was affecting 5 million people in the state of Maryland. I have written 300 laws, including the expungement law, so people could have a chance to start lives over again.
Glory to God.
I co-sponsored the Second Chance Act and the Justice Reinvestment Act, of which the studies have shown that our prison population is going down by 10% because those who have mental health challenges are not being jailed anymore. They're getting beds in hospitals, and that's important for me.
Yes, sir.
Now, when I look at that, it means what is my vision for the county? I'm the only one that has had to deal with issues from transportation, public safety, school issues, on and on and on. And I'll tell you one of the things that I mean, that I hope people will understand. When I see something that's wrong, I'm not going to condone it, not even for political expediency or for political gain. When they brought the casino to Prince George's County, I was the only senator to vote against the casino because I knew the money was not going into school.
Thank you, sir.
Now they've admitted in this legislative session, these years later, the money was not going into schools. I did not agree with, and I was the only senator to vote against the 15% property tax hike for our seniors and our veterans and people who are trying to own their homes. I've been a fighter for people. When those 700 jobs from Safeway was going to leave our county and leave 700 people without jobs, they came to me, and as I was the only elected official in the room negotiating for 3 months. And you know what? At the end of 3 months, we not only kept those 700 jobs, but we were able to add 200 more for 10 years. I have the experience, I have the will, I have the vision. I know what's right with our county, but I also know the challenges that need to be fixed. And so for those reasons, I believe I'm the best candidate in this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, we need a fighter. We need you. You have the pulse on the people, and you have the commitment and loyalty to the community. What do you have planned for health care in Prince George's County, sir?
Well, I'm glad you asked because for a long time now, I have been blessed to work, or I serve on the healthcare, finance, healthcare, and delivery for the entire state,
Yes.
in which we deal with healthcare delivery to all 24 jurisdictions and challenges that surround that. As a result of having that kind of background, I was able to bring back hundreds of millions of dollars for our University of Maryland Medical Center since 2016, and I sponsored legislation to make sure there's an annual commitment each year in the state budget to fund
Thank you,
that
sir.
hospital. Also, we in our area we have one of the highest rates of cancer that they are in, relative to some other areas.
Yes.
So I first sponsored a bill that called for, it did pass, to study some of the cancer clusters, some of these industries that are located sometimes in poor neighborhoods, dumps, etc., but no standards to determine whether they're cancer-causing remedies, cancer-causing, effects
Yes, sir.
from them. I was able to sponsor that bill, get it to pass. About 9 months ago, I stood there and I said there at the Lower Hospital, I said, we're going to have, and I've been working with people to make sure that when I'm elected, we will bring a state-of-the-art cancer research and treatment center
Yes, sir.
to Prince George's County.
Yes, sir.
That is extremely important because we're sending out people for special treatment to Georgia and Philadelphia. And not only will that center, as I've been working with persons, be I know it's not my job as county executive to find a cure for cancer, but I can make it easier for my residents who are struggling for healing, for them
Thank
to
you.
find the healing that's needed and to find somewhere right at home near their families where they can have the treatment.
Yes,
but not only
sir.
that, I'm sure you visited Johns Hopkins Hospital many times, and
Yes.
you've been able to see, because I'm from Baltimore, what East Baltimore used to look like. But ever since Johns Hopkins has been building up all around, what you see is a whole neighborhood has changed. All of East Baltimore, jobs, housing,
Yes, sir.
contracts, all for those folks there. That will provide jobs for us. It will provide small and minority contracts for us so that my healthcare approach is global and not just myopic. Now, lastly, I want to look across this county. We have Laurel, we have doctors, we have Baden Community
Yes.
Medical Center. We have Fort Washington Hospital Center, which would be a great place for a prenatal hospital that specializes in prenatal services.
Yes, sir.
Some specialty across this county where people can go within the county. We can help those medical centers to achieve that. And then neighborhood clinics is what's needed in places like Baden and some of the outskirts.
Yeah.
Those are the things that I have on the horizon as my vision for having a comprehensive approach to healthcare. And because I know Annapolis and I've served on those committees,
Yes, sir.
it's easier to get funding for those committees because I know the people there that will help me to get it done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wow. We only have about 4 minutes or so left, but I know you were the first person, let alone politician, but the first to ask for the resignation for Maxwell. I want to know, what are your educational plans, sir?
Thank you very much. One, we have to make sure there is a disconnect between our curriculum and this testing. We've been testing for years. We've been number 23 of the least performing of 24 jurisdictions, be it Baltimore, Montgomery County, et cetera. We've been the 23rd least performing since 1995. 23 years later, we still are. That makes no sense at all. I've studied education in all these 24 jurisdictions. and ensure I know what is wrong. I know what that disconnect is.
Yes, sir.
We're not going to stay number 23 because we are going to have smaller classroom sizes because we're not going to close schools when they get small, when they become smaller, and merge those students with others. I want teacher support. I want the money going into the classrooms and not somebody's pocket giving a $1 million bonus to a gentleman who has changed, who hasn't made the changes that we need. I called for his resignation in 2015, 16, and 17.
Yes,
Finally
sir.
got it.
Yes, sir. Hallelujah. And lastly, Senator Muse, what will you be doing about affordable housing, sir?
I will be dealing first with our seniors. I had a bill in and got some money back for them called rent stabilization.
Yes.
The rent is too high for our seniors, and the taxes have taxed our seniors out of their homes. If we make places, and we're not asking for a whole lot, National Harbor, all these developments that are coming, MGM, pay your fair taxes.
Yes,
Stop
sir.
waiving the taxes of these developers so that we can make it easier for our seniors to live. Like other jurisdictions, our seniors should reach a point where they are, number one, either aren't having to pay taxes or their taxes aren't going up. I
Yes,
want
sir.
affordable housing that's not junk. I've seen it in other areas. My PhD,
Yes.
my doctorate is in community development. I've studied other areas.
Yes,
We
sir.
can bring quality, affordable housing and make Prince George's County a place where everyone can be proud to live.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just want to thank you, C. Anthony Muse, Senator Muse, for being here when we're, tomorrow the polls, early voting closes, and I know you are out there all over the place. People love you, and I wish we could clone you.
I love Prince George's County. I love the citizens because I'm their servant. I'm not politicians. Sometimes we think they're the important ones. We're not the important ones. We've asked people to give us permission to serve them and make life better. And I love the people that I serve in Prince George's County.
And we love you. Look, I want everyone to know, thank you so much, Senator, for being here tonight. And I just want everyone to know that we have to put someone into Prince George's County executive's position who's going to move this county forward. And C. Anthony Muse is the man to do it. So vote C. Anthony Muse. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all so much, and good night to all your listeners, and good night to you out there. I appreciate this opportunity. Bless you all.
Good night. Bless you. God bless. Bye-bye. All right. So, we're at the end of the show, y'all. So I just want to say I'm on my way to the God's You conference call. And do you have that flyer before we just say goodbye? Empower You with God's You. And that's going to be right after the Power Networking Conference. So thank you for tuning in. God bless you. Stay tuned for our next show. And I'll see you next week.
Miss Renee show. Hey, Miss Renee show. Where we at on Miss Renee show? I said where we at, y'all, on the Miss Renee show. Yeah, where we at, y'all? Hey, where we at, y'all? Right here.